Hey, Taylor from The Girl on Bloor here, and I am back with another delicious recipe for you to try today, and I'm super excited for it to be restaurant copycat. Now, I absolutely love enchiladas, but I have no patience for the whole tortilla rolling thing. I find I can never get my enchiladas just right. They're super messy and time consuming, and you need to dirty a bunch of dishes. It's just not something I have the patience to make very often. On the other hand, enchilada soup, it comes together in just one pot in under an hour, and you can freeze the leftovers for another time. It's seriously a huge meal prep win. Now that is something I can get behind. Today I'm making a copycat of the chicken enchilada soup at Chili's. It's super high in protein with lots of chicken and cheesy goodness, and it's topped with tortilla strips and pico de gallo. And it's much healthier than the version at Chili's with mostly whole food ingredients. With my version, you'll save 80 calories and add 8 more grams of protein per serving, so it's just a win-win all around. You're going to have this soup on repeat, trust me. Okay, let's dive in and I'll show you how to make it. First things first, you're going to dice up 1 yellow onion and mince 2 cloves of garlic. From there, you'll heat 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a large pot over medium-high heat. Once the oil is nice and hot, you'll add your onion and saute for a few minutes until the onion softens and becomes fragrant. From there, you'll add 1 pound of chicken breast, then the minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of paprika, then half a teaspoon of salt. Give everything a stir, coating the chicken in the spices. I recommend that you go with chicken breast for this recipe, but you could also use boneless, skinless chicken thighs and the cook time will be about the same. The chicken thighs will have more flavor, but they also add more calories and fat content, so that's just something to keep in mind. Once that's nice and seasoned in the pot, you'll add 1 small 398 milliliter can of crushed tomatoes. Can sizes vary in the US and Canada, so if all you can find is one of those large 796 milliliter cans, just be sure to use only half of it, then you can freeze the rest of the tomatoes for another recipe in an airtight container. Finally, you'll add 1 can of green chilies, 1 tablespoon brown sugar, and 4 cups of chicken broth. Bring all of that to a boil, then cook for 25 minutes over medium-low heat. You're looking for a slow simmer here. You'll be using this combination of crushed tomatoes, chilies, and brown sugar instead of canned enchilada sauce. This ingredient combo contains less preservatives, but still gives you that same taste with healthier ingredients. You want the green chilies for the heat that they bring to this soup without becoming too overwhelming spice-wise, and you want the brown sugar to just cut the acid in the canned tomatoes. Now that your soup is cooking, it's time to add our secret weapon and what makes this soup so reminiscent of enchiladas. You'll be adding 1 cup of masa harina, also known as corn flour, to 2 cups of water and stirring until completely dissolved. This ingredient can usually be found in the baking aisle of your local grocery store, and it really is the key flavor in this soup while acting as a thickener. Masa is a maize dough that comes from ground corn, and it's used for making corn tortillas along with many other Latin American dishes. It is one of the key flavors in this enchilada soup that you get at Chili's, so you don't want to skip it. I've linked to some in the caption of this video in case you'd like to order it online, but you should be able to find it in most grocery stores. Now, because we don't want any lumps or inconsistent texture with this soup, it's best to dissolve the masa in water ahead of time, otherwise you'll end up with clumps. So go ahead and give that a good whisk, and then set it aside for when your soup is mostly done cooking. We're basically now just waiting for the chicken to get fully cooked in the broth so we can shred it. While you wait, you can also take this time to prepare the cheese. Grate 1 cup of cheddar cheese and set that aside with the masa mixture. You can also start preparing your toppings. I've listed out a whole bunch of ideas in the caption of this video, but the main 2 toppings I like to add to this soup and that Chili's adds to theirs are tortilla strips and pico de gallo. Now you can buy a store-bought pico de gallo for this recipe, or you can make your own pretty easily. When I'm feeling lazy, and that is often, I will rely on Mad Mexican's pico de gallo that you can find at most Toronto area grocery stores. Now I know Toronto isn't the center of the universe, but it is where I live, so I can't vouch for any other brands of store-bought pico, but I've noticed many different grocery stores carrying their own versions, so be on the lookout for those. If you want to make your own homemade pico de gallo, I'll show you how easy it is. Chop up a beef steak tomato, then dice up a red or white onion. Add them to a bowl. Now finally chop some cilantro, juice half a lime, and then add in a pinch of sea salt. Stir everything together and you've got pico. Now about this time, your chicken should be fully cooked and ready to be shredded. Remove your chicken with a pair of tongs, then shred with a fork and knife. Add the chicken back to your pot, then you'll stir in your masa mixture and cheddar cheese. You'll cook the soup for another 5 minutes just to ensure everything is smooth and combined and the flavors mingle together. Just look at this creaminess. Now that your soup is ready, you can ladle into large bowls and then add your toppings. Sprinkle on some of that pico, then finish with the tortilla strips. Serve right away with some tortilla chips and you are ready to go. The leftovers will keep in airtight containers up to 5 days in the fridge, or you can freeze the soup for up to 3 months for another time. I recommend storing individual portions in glass containers, then you can reheat right from frozen in the microwave for 7 minutes or so, stirring partway through. And just like that, you've got yourself covered for the next time you have a Chili's craving. Just make sure you leave the toppings off the soup when storing, and this applies whether you're storing in the fridge or freezer. I like storing all the portions of the soup separately just so I know exactly how many leftovers I have, and then it does motivate me to eat everything up. Plus, individual portion sizes just make life easy. There's less mess to clean up. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make this delicious creamy chicken enchilada soup. It's a healthier restaurant copycat that I just know you're gonna love. Who knew you could pack so much flavor into one little bowl? I've linked to the full recipe in the caption of this video, and if you're looking for more healthy restaurant copycats, I've also linked to the archives on my site so you can get some more dinner ideas. I'd like to think that I'm the copycat queen, so I'm sure there's a hidden gem you'll find on the site. Anyways, thanks so much for hanging with me here today. If you like this recipe, be sure to subscribe to my channel to get more healthy dinner ideas, and I will see you here again next week.